Okay, how to build the Maxim. First off, what you want to do is you want to take the frame section, slice it however you so wish, and then attach to the cooling jacket with a 10mm bolt. Once this is done, you then want to take the receiver bottom and use the hourglass section here to place in the locking lug, which then fuses the two parts together. Once you've done that, you then insert the receiver bottom into the frame using 6 3mm dowel pins. That now complete, we move on to the fourth step, which is attaching the top cover to the receiver. So for this, you will need the shield support, the top receiver, and the 2 receiver pins. Place the receiver cover on the top, and the shield support goes into the last wedge here. Place both in, then insert the receiver pins. That's now top cover installed. Next step will be to take the rear ladder sight and you want to slide the rear sight onto the ladder slide. Then take a 3mm by 25mm bolt and insert it into the back. Once that's now done, you take the feed block, like so, you lift up the top cover and you simply place the feed block in. It should just fall straight in. Then we take the roller handle and we attach it to the outside here. Then we take the dead stop and the dead stop pin. The dead stop pin goes on the inside, and then the dead stop goes on the outside connecting to that pin. Once you're done, move the reciprocating parts, or non-reciprocating, into action. Now that we've done that, we take the handle block. So you want to take the handle block and then you want to take the safety and then the handle block pin. So, safety, handle block pin. The safety goes in the top section here, and you simply just line the 2 holes up and then place the pin like so. this stage you can use an R-clip to hold those in place. Now with that being done, take the trigger sear pin and a 10mm spring. So you can place the spring on to the sear pin and then place that through the middle pin in here. Place that inside there, and it should slot straight in. Then what we do is we take the trigger and the last handle block pin, and there should be a hole in the back there that sits into the sear pin, and you line up the holes which are here, and then place in the last pin. Attaching the handles is relatively straightforward. Place the wooden handle in between the handle block part, and then place in the handle pin straight through. That now completes the trigger unit. And then take the trigger unit, put the trigger, and then just slot it straight in. You then take your handle block pin and then insert it into the hole at the bottom of the frame into the trigger unit. At this point, that anymore. So now we take the spring cover and we attach it to the pins on the outside. To make life a little bit easier, just take the top receiver off and the feed block out so you can access all of the screws. Pins. Once it's slid on, just tighten up whatever you've got, whether it's screws or pins. And then replace necessary parts. Next, we take the setting pin. This is the setting pin connector. It comes in 3 parts. So you have setting pin connector, then you have a setting pin connector pin and cap. What you do is you place the setting pin in the bottom of the bottom frame, which is here. So we place that in there, and then take the pin, push the pin through, once that's done, attach the cap to the end, and that's that done. Then take the muzzle end, and that simply slots into the front. that is the upper portion of the Maxim now complete. So we can set this aside. And now we can focus on the mount. So, what we do is we take the mount body. As you can see, you want to have the deepest curve facing the back. And where it starts to level out, that's the front section where the muzzle is. Then we take our mount rider brackets and we want to line them up line these holes up with these holes. Doing so, you want to take an M5 by 55 bolt. And on the other side, what we want to do is get some washers. Simply place those on and tighten. Repeat the same on the other side. Okay, so you can see that's now done. Now we want to take this section, which is the mount body. You might have to slice it, but there is a 10mm bolt that goes from the centre. Simply slots on over and connect the 10mm bolt. Once it's on, give it a test, make sure it's free floating. Now that we've done that, I'll attach the wheel bar. So you take the two spoke ends there, and then we insert those inside out. Once those are in, we then take the midsection and we place it between two parts here, line them up, and then you want to take a 7.5mm dowel and then insert it through the end. Do the same from the other side. And that's how you connect the wheel bar. So, now we're moving on to the back. And for this, you want to take the 32mm pipe joint connectors, the bar, and the bolts for the bar. So, with this, rest it on a surface, place the joint in the hole, lining up the holes, insert the bolt for the bar. Be careful not to push it in all the way. So it's flush like so. Do the same on the other side. Like so. You want to connect these joints so they face downwards like so. Now you take the mid bar and you place it between the mount riders. When doing so, push through those bolts. That now secures the joints so the legs are sturdier. Right. Then you want to take a 32mm pipe, which I've listed in the description, and place the pipe through the joints. Once that is done, you then take the back frame and then insert it to the back of the pipe, like so. So it forms the mount. Then we take our completed wheels, slide them over Once that's complete, then we take the mount frame brackets, which are these, and we take the cooling jacket pin, which is this particular shaped pin here. So the brackets, this raised section points out. Take the cooling jacket pin and place it through the top hole here. Take your other jacket, place it through, so. Now it should sit at the back. Once we're done with that, then we take the mount body washers, which are these, and we insert these facing in and insert them like so. Now that we've done that, we take our mount locking pin and we insert it through the washer. Leave it slightly stuck in, and then you want to take your spacer. Your spacer goes in between the two bars. And then insert the pin the rest of the way. And then thread on the end cap. Don't thread it on completely because we still need to put the elevation controls in. So take your elevation bracket and insert it in through the bracket mount hole here. Once you're done with that, you may now tighten this section. Once that section is now tightened in, take thread, elevation thread, and begin threading it in the bracket. Take your turn dial and place that in through the bottom. There is a square lug, like so. Now, connecting the Maxim to the mount. What you want to do is you want to take out the cooling jacket pin. And take the Maxim. There's a hole here, and there's the hole here. Line these two up. And insert the cooling jacket pin. Once we're done with that, then lift up this section here and this little dial, slot into the elevation controls. And that is essentially how you build the Maxim.